What's going on, everyone? It's Sheena, aka Sheenapreneur, your favorite veteran. Today I'm going to talk to you all about something a little different. It's following the SLED money. So what is SLED, Sheena? SLED is state, local, and education. Don't know why education has two letters instead of just one when it's an acronym, but I don't make the rules, right? But sometimes people are like, well, how do I know what the local government is purchasing? Because, of course, state, local, and education, that's local contracting. We're not talking about federal in this video. Maybe just for reference, but not really. So SLED contracting, the easiest way to follow the money with SLED. I will get to it right after this. Okay, so my best friend, of course, Bridget, always says follow the money. That's the way that you know what contracts are coming out. If there's a natural disaster, we naturally know, whether it's on the federal or the local level, that there's probably going to be some money that's going to be dished out from FEMA. And in Georgia, they actually have GEMA. So that's one thing that you can all do is if you do any type of emergency services like debris removal or tree cutting or whatever, something like that, hauling, porta potties, then you need to look up in your local state to see if they have like a FEMA equivalent. So you could put like, what is the state of Arizona's emergency system, emergency agency? So ours is GEMA, G-E-M-A. So it's the same thing as FEMA, but it's local. And so they'll sometimes issue out emergency contracts the same way that FEMA would. So following the money is one of the main ways that you can figure out, okay, what if I don't know what I'm going to sell, which I think you should before you get into government contracting. But nonetheless, I want to get into this, or I already do this. What is actually happening in my backyard? What's happening in the state? What's happening in the city? What's happening in the county? Now, there's plenty of counties, especially Georgia is just building. Depending on where you're located, of course, that's going to vary. But in states or cities or counties where it's super progressive in their building, you got to see what is actually happening. Are locations looking to have the work, live, play, where they have this compound essentially, where they have your apartment or your condo and a bunch of shops where you can get everything that you need in that one area, like a WeWork type situation where everything is just right there in that one little area and you don't even really have to leave. So what is usually needed in those areas? Is it going to be some sort of dog park? Because a lot of times those people are going to be dog owners, because I'm here in Atlanta, I swear, in all these condos, everyone has a dog, and so do I. I'm a dog mom. But nonetheless, they may actually need some sort of like pet, the thing that they install where they get the pet bags, so the pet, waste to pick up, that compound, that complex, if you will, where they work, live, play, may need something like that. They may need a water fountain built. They may need picnic tables. You might do sell furniture, and they need tables or umbrellas that go in the tables in this little courtyard area, and you provide those types of products, or even a service where you come and do the landscaping for those areas. So you're kind of like, okay, well, I know this city is actually building up, so let me start going to some of their meetings or reading their meeting minutes online. You can literally Google City of Atlanta meeting minutes. Now, it may not be called that exact thing, or it may be called that exact thing, and then you could just read what they're putting their thoughts toward if you don't live in that city and you're trying to do business with that city. But also do the same thing within your own local area, your own backyard, and go to some of those board meetings where they're having conversations about what needs to be changed, what needs to be added, what needs to be taken away in that particular neighborhood, and then it branches out from there. You can also, of course, always watch the news to see what's going on and if there's any type of announcements about different opportunities that are coming to certain areas. We all know that when there's a huge company that's moving to a particular city, then that's going to be a big deal. Like FIFA is coming to Atlanta. So we know that, okay, everyone get ready. Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you sell, get ready for when FIFA comes to Atlanta, because that's going to be a big deal. They're going to come to our airport, that, one of the busiest, most efficient airports in the world, okay? And this may be their first time ever coming to not just Georgia, but coming to the United States. So, you're thinking about, okay, well, can I offer some sort of limo service at the airport? Can I offer, it's always going to be within the parameters of what the airport lets you. I don't think you can sell fruits or vegetables at the airport, but just have in your mind what events are actually taking place, whether they are major events like FIFA or a natural disaster or something else that may be coming to your local city, even your school, your actual school. I remember when my kids were in elementary school, which was a long time ago, this particular elementary school that they were in, it was like their first couple of years. They didn't end up staying in that one, so we were only there for a very short period of time, but they were doing an overhaul to all of their like educational systems. So they were, went from basically books to fully digital. And so I remember the principal having the PTA meeting, I guess it was, maybe something like that, a long time ago. And she was saying she paid a company like $20,000 $20,000 to build an app. And I'm like, an app for what? I was building apps at that time. So I was like, why didn't I know about this? Maybe because I wasn't at the other meetings and I didn't know that they were looking for someone to provide this service. And so even something simple like that, you can pay attention to what's going on in your kid's school, or even the school that you're in, or a school that you teach at, whatever the case may be. Following the money, because a lot of times it'll tell you exactly how to place yourself, who to talk to, rubbing elbows and shoulders with the people who are making the decisions. Again, this is at the local level, so it's a lot easier to kind of get in where you fit in. Again, with that app being built at the school, don't know if it went out for bid or not, but it could have easily been under a threshold where the principal had autonomy, had the ability to swipe the card, and instead of putting it out for bid, she just probably needed 3 quotes and maybe a little write-up or something like that, and then boom, now this person has been paid $20-something thousand for an app that who knows if they're even using anymore. One of my favorite things to do when I have a little bit of pastime is to look at previous contract awards. Oh, that's like my favorite. So this is not going to be cut and dry, but most websites that have local contracts like bidnet.com or bidnetdirect.com, bonfire.com, GovDirections won't let you do that because unless you pay for the super high premium amount, which is still pretty cheap compared to some other websites. Jagger is also another one that holds like a lot of educational contracts. Whatever platform you use, even if you just go to the actual city, state, county itself, sometimes they'll have their solicitations and their awards listed right there on the website. Free game. So one of my favorite things to do is look at awarded contracts. Georgia just happens to be one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best procurement systems for the entire state of Georgia. And they have, as far as I know, almost all, if not all, contracts listed or solicitations and awards listed on that specific platform. So what I will do is I'll go to that website first, which is the DOAS, Department of Administrative Services, Georgia Team Marketplace website. You can Google all that, you'll find it. But it's also known as Georgia Team Marketplace or Team Marketplace, whatever, right? Because you may not even be in Georgia and it's not relevant. But if you just Google whatever your state is, procurement, state of Michigan procurement, state of California procurement, state of Georgia procurement, you will find the right website. So that's just for that particular state, and then all the other cities and counties and whatever listed under that particular website. But then you might say, okay, I just want to go straight to Atlanta. So you might do City of Atlanta procurement, and then they have their own website as well. And they'll list all the open solicitations and all the awarded a lot of times, and the closed ones and the canceled ones. But the awarded ones, this is where you get the free game, because you're able to see exactly who won, 8 times out of 10, exactly who won and how much they got paid. So you're going to have to sometimes do a little reverse engineering, because they may just show the dollar amount, boop, just the money, and you don't see any proposal documents. You don't see even, you just see the name of what they were awarded. Like if it was janitorial services, award janitorial services, and then the year that it was awarded, the company name, and the dollar amount. You might want to get those 5 things, and that might be all you need. But if you were thinking about it a little deeper, you need to know what they were actually bidding on, because there may be a new janitorial contract for that same particular city, and they may have added some things or taken away some things to the new solicitation compared to the old awarded solicitation. So it's very, very important to know exactly what you're bidding on. So how do you do that, Sheena? Okay, now a lot of times the agency will list all the previous solicitations, show them as closed, awarded, whatever. So you'll be able to, and it may be in a separate location from where the awarded documents are or the awarded amounts are. So you got to do a lot of digging, like I said. So you go to the whatever website you're going to use, and if you're looking at the previous solicitation, let's just say it's janitorial services from 2020 to 2025, okay? And it just came up for a new solicitation that comes out November 1st, 2025. So you can look at the previous contract or previous solicitation list of what they're actually asking for, right? Match it up with the new solicitation that's coming out November 1st, came out November 1st, 2025, and see if anything has changed. Now, with the new solicitation, it's wise to also ask, if you know you're going after an opportunity, is ask, has anything changed in the size and scope from the last contract from 2020 to 2025? I hope I haven't lost any of you yet, but rewind this if it doesn't make sense. I'm saying all that to say that the awarded amount and the awarded company are crucial in a lot of cases because a lot of people don't understand how to price. So if you see the price and you're like, oh my goodness, it's for janitorial for 50 buildings. If it were me, I would have charged them $1 million. Meanwhile, the previous awarded amount was only $200,000, and no one else. You might see all the pricing that everyone submitted in a bid tabulation. It might be 10 companies that went after this opportunity and put in a bid, and no one's price was over $200,000. So then you're thinking, okay, well, how's my price so far off? So that lets you know before you actually submit something that you might need to work on your pricing or see why your pricing would be so much higher than the highest bidder from the previous years. Now, maybe they have changed the opportunity, or maybe you just all the way wrong, because I was all the way wrong when I first started in government contracting because I had a subcontractor. I didn't understand what I was looking at, and I trusted his price, and his price was way off at first. So the awarded dollar amount is crucial in that, and then the awarded contractor, because you want to know who's in your backyard, who's your competition. I like to say collaboration over competition, but there's still someone who is going to essentially probably bid against you, especially if they already had the contract. So it's good to try to build an alliance with them, because they may want to subcontract the work out to you. They may want you to be the prime, you to be the sub, do a partnership, go after other opportunities together. You just never truly know what that might end up being. But what I used to, I don't really have time now, but what I typically did was if I went after an opportunity and saw someone else win, I would, congratulate them and ask if they need any help, because they may be like, oh my goodness, I won this contract and I have no idea what I'm doing. Especially all the y'all wonderful newbies that are in government contracting. You may have won and don't know what you're doing, and you would be grateful for someone to reach out to you for assistance, to offer assistance. And that's not necessarily someone trying to be shady. They could legit need help, even if they're a well-known established company. Maybe they lost their contractor. You never really know. So I love looking at awarded contracts. It really, really helps you find out like what's already been awarded, because you don't even know what the agency ever bought ever in life unless they list it, and they might have hundreds of awarded contracts, and you just look through to see, okay, well, I do something unique. Let's just say you build furniture, like custom build, and you're like, I wonder if this agency ever buys custom built furniture, and you can look through to see if there's any furniture contracts, custom built furniture contracts, or anything like that. So that's just a little synopsis of how that can really help you with collaborating with someone who's already won a contract, and you see their name listed right there on the award, and they might be willing to do other stuff with you, especially when it comes to the certifications, because they might say, oh my goodness, we don't have any certifications, that's why we're not doing federal contracting, or that's why we're not doing corporate contracting, or that's why we're not even doing contracting with the city of Atlanta, because we don't have a certification. But you do have that certification, or at least you're eligible, and now you have an end to that relationship, because some people feel like they're not adequate to partner with some companies, and they might say, well, what am I bringing to the table? A lot of times a certification is the easiest way to bring something to the table. Your past performance is a way to bring something to the table. Your knowledge about creating proposals might be your way to bring something to the table. So whatever it is that's your superpower, or that you can easily access or easily bring as a benefit to this other company, absolutely go with that full force, and they'll let you know if that works for them or not. The worst thing anyone could say is no. That's it. And the last thing I'll say is to network in your own backyard with those people who are in those areas. Now, that doesn't mean that you go to 1,000 conferences. It may just be a meeting, a virtual how to do business with Clayton County or something like that. If you're at an event and you're able to rub elbows with someone who is the commissioner or something in a particular city or county, or however that works. I'm not a political person, but however that works, then you may be, for top of mind when they do have something that comes up. I know many people who have gotten contracts that way because someone just showed up to a ribbon cutting, and you just start saying, hi, I'm Sheena, I do da-da-da-da, and then they're like, I got someone you need to talk to. And then they go over and say, oh my God, we've been looking for someone that does what you do, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, now you have a contract. It can literally work that easy. It's very hard to do that on the federal side. Now I'm sure there's ways, and I know some people that have kind of done it that way. But right here, right where you live, and then you can do contracts right in your own city, right in your own county, right where you live, where it's a lot easier. Even if you're hiring people, you know that you can reach out and touch that location or that contract if you need to. So, anywho, we have our GovConNOW subscription service where we help people write proposals, and we include business development to ensure that you are going after the right contracts. We heavily focus on SLED, but we also do proposals for federal contracts as well. So federal and local contracts, education, whatever it is that your specialty, I know that's not a word, your specialty is. And of course I have my GovConNOW course, which is a self-paced course where I teach about federal contracting, local contracting, and corporate contracting, where you have unlimited access to me. So please make sure you share your experience in the comments. I like to hear what you have to say. It makes a huge difference when people are giving me wonderful feedback, especially when I meet people in person. It's like, oh my God, it warms my heart when people are saying that I have helped them in any type of way. Share this video if you feel like it's going to be valuable to someone. Make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, it's your favorite veteran.